to Dishing About Food, a 4-part audio series transporting you into the kitchens of cooks, chefs and restaurateurs from all over the world who've made their home here in Northern Ireland. It's a celebration of the contributions different people and cultures have added to the local food scene, which has itself transformed over the past decade. You'll hear about the history of different cuisines and the stories of our brilliant food entrepreneurs. I'm Karishma. I moved to Northern Ireland in the 1990s and it's been my home ever since. As well as my day job as a designer and podcaster, I'm also a massive foodie. And if you're listening to this, you probably are too. I love discovering new restaurants on Instagram, experimenting with new recipes, and I'm also fascinated by the other elements to food businesses, the innovation, the design, and the people. We recorded these conversations in the summer of 2023, and between then and now, our guests have added even more accolades to their businesses. Listen to the end of each episode to hear about their latest projects and, crucially, how you can sample their food. Cous-cous, tagines, shakshuka. Our first episode explores Tunisian cuisine. We spoke with Carthago's owner and head chef Sabeh Cyndi at her restaurant in Moira. Thank you for bringing us into your beautiful restaurant in Moira. It's gorgeous. It's got so much artwork, some of which you've made as well, which is really lovely. But can you tell us a bit about who you are and what you do within Carthago?
I'm Sabeh Cyndi. I'm Tunisian. I've been in Northern Ireland nearly now 23 years of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, long time. Yeah, but Tunisia never died in me. So I always still there, of course. And this is my little restaurant. And I manage it, and I'm the main chef. I'm the customer chatter as well.
We've had a lot of really good chats already. It's getting to know you.
No.
But the restaurant's almost, we were talking about, it's almost like a portal into a different world.
Yeah.
You come in, you feel like you're on holiday, and you feel so much comfort and warmth. Is that what you want for your customers when they come in?
Yeah. I want them to feel experience, not just about the food, just about the whole experience, like they go somewhere else within Northern Ireland and they experience all these cultures and food and smells and warm welcoming.
And how come you moved to Northern Ireland out of everywhere? Why did you pick Moira as well to settle in out of all the towns in the world?
Yeah. It's just a family reason. Just my husband from the area, and that's it. Yeah, as I say, I've been here for years, and I love the people. People respect me, and it's such a great place to live, and I have no problem, and I love it. And I just feel I want to give something back. You know, I wanted to promote a wee bit of our culture and show people who I am.
And how did you and your husband meet? Did you meet in Tunisia? Did you meet somewhere else?
Yes,
how did
we meet in Tunisia. I was a student, yes. Yes.
And what was that first meeting like? Did you get to know each other's cultures? Did you get to know a bit about Northern Irish culture
I
as
think
well?
the first time I told him, here, do you know I'm Tunisian, you know my culture, are you okay with that? Our food a little bit spicy, he said yes. So that's it, yeah. So now it's all good, yes, it's all good, yes.
Can you tell us a bit about Tunisia? People might not know exactly where it is. They've probably heard of Tunisia, they know about the beautiful resorts.
Yes.
But can you tell us exactly where it is and a bit about the culture as well?
Yes. Tunisia is in North Africa. It's the northest country in North Africa. So it's a part of the Mediterranean and North Africa. So we have thousands of miles of Mediterranean coast. And we have thousands of years of history and culture and civilization went through Tunisia, and that's to reflect, of course, in the kitchen and reflecting people culture. This was such a very rich cultures and cuisine. Yeah.
And which are some of the cultures that have influenced Tunisia? Because I know you mentioned the Mediterranean culture and some of the African cultures as well.
So Tunisia at the start, the very old culture will be, 9,000 years before Christ, with the Capsis, with the first civilization, Capsis, the first civilizations in human rights in Africa. So they're the first groups I find they have tagines and they cook and all been in a school. And after that, there is the Empire of Carthage. The Carthage has been, empire is based in North Africa and still have the city of Carthage now, you can visit. That's supposed to be all North Africa and the south of the Mediterranean. It's been for hundreds and hundreds of years. And after that, Carthage went with Roma for fights and wars. And then Rome took over Carthage after. But that will be our first civilizations and maybe first culture that has influenced the rest of North Africa and the south and still now. Okay. Then after that, we have the Roman. And after that, different. Then I have the Arab come up later, and we have the Turkish, and I have the French and Italian. So it's mixed. I mean, to be honest, we most one and Florence, other ones, and then we got some of Florence back. It's like a shakshuka, really, you know. So this way, it's very, you know, very rich, yeah. So and that's creates unique. Tunisia is unique because of all this.
And can you describe some of the elements then of those cultures and how they appear in the food of Tunisia?
For example, I mean, we have, we call the king of the Tunisian is a couscous. The couscous, it's a Berber, very, very old dish. We have the bread, the flat bread, very important. Again, we have the dough and we call the pastas. The pasta is so old in Tunisia. We have a lot of handmade pastas from the Carthaginian time. And then the Roman time, so we have a lot of pasta or soup we make. I mean, because it's such a fertilized land, so a lot of vegetable there, especially in the north. There's a lot of veg, and of course we have a lot of fish, everything there.
That's very Mediterranean as well.
Yeah, very, and we're not influenced by the Mediterranean. We are a Mediterranean.
Yeah,
you know, we're part of it. I mean, we not take it from other ones. We create our own Mediterranean because we has been there for thousands, millions of years.
And it's a big trading port as well.
Absolutely, and this is historical. This is from years ago. The place of Tunisia has been always very important for pass from the west to the east. The merchant, they stop there maybe for exchange and then carry on, maybe go to South America, go on to Europe, go maybe to UK, because that's only the line from the Med, check you out.
That's the way they would have traveled.
Yeah, that's where we travel, and some of them, we do have some old historical hotels that's proof that people years ago, old merchants stops there and stay there for a few nights, maybe exchange food, bring food, take food, and take them somewhere else.
And would have been spices as well?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. As we all know, the spices come from India. India always been the mother of spices, and that has go through the herb, because of course in one stage the herb has been expanded, and then they brought up, and they expand near North Africa and near Spain, as you know, and they brought up a lot of spices and influence, and that get in Tunisian cuisine and add extra flavor to it, and along with the Tunisian knowledge.
Amazing. It seems like such a rich culture, and there's so many different elements to it, even from what you've been telling us so far. It sounds fascinating, but a lot of people don't know that much about it, but they've maybe tried some of the dishes, especially in breakfast. Like you were talking about merguez sausage, you're talking about shakshuka.
Yes.
Are those things that are very popular in Tunisia as well?
Yeah. This is every day. Like if you find nothing to cook, you say, I'll go make shakshuka with merguez. You know.
So everything together.
It's like our fry, you know, like you have not, and you have our stir fry, We have our fry, like the merguez, you know, and the pepper, tomato, you know, that bread. This is our fry in the morning, you know,
That's a traditional breakfast.
Yes, exactly, yeah, absolutely.
And what's it been like then living in Moira and raising your family here now?
Yeah.
Are they connected to their Tunisian background as well as your Northern Irish background? What's that like?
Yeah. I always been half in Northern Ireland because, as you know, my husband from here, the children are half Northern Irish, half Tunisian. But we just want to be fair in the house, so we have a plan. We cook one day Tunisian, one day Irish. No argument, you know. But no, the kids are they love it. They enjoy both sides.
And then because Moira is a little bit outside of obviously Belfast or Derry or the bigger cities, are people travelling to have food here?
Yeah. I have people come from Dublin. Right. People come from, they travel for 3 hours. Someone come the train, you know, for 2 hours or 1 hour and a half train and come up here and then catch a train back again. So we have local and we have people come from far to try the food and they come back. People appreciate the food, you know. I always want to displace food. People, they really appreciate the food. They appreciate what's on that plate, you know, what's involved, you know,
So you had talked a bit about slow cooking being very popular in Tunisian cooking. A lot of the meats are slow cooked and they're inside tagines for many hours.
Yeah. As I say, we have so many sections of our food. More the Berber side, they would cook maybe they cook in tagines, and even the Mediterranean coast, they will still cook in tagine, but sometimes move on in a pot, but still slow cooking.
Yeah.
We have few fast cooking, for example, we have the salads, we have some grills, as you know, as a Mediterranean grill salad, but most of our dishes will be like stew and sauces and We have two parts. We have the spicy part and we have the azahar part. We call it. It's cooked with saffron. It's quite mild but aromatic. And we have the other one. It's quite spicy. So we have two door, for our kitchen. Yeah.
And then walking around your restaurant, you showed us some really beautiful earthenware. And
Yes.
one of the pots you were saying was maybe buried in the hot sand by
yeah.
maybe nomadic people. Is that right? Is that how it would have been really traditionally cooked?
Yeah, very. That's very, very old and still kept the same.
Yeah.
So the Berber people is the original people of North Africa, and then after there is the other, influence. But the Berber, the people live in most of the Sahara, and they kept in the mountains, countryside, and they kept their own culture exactly the same. They're very preservative over their own culture.
Yeah.
And and just the same thing. And I say we do have historic proof that that's been the same thing cooked thousands of years and still cooked until now. Like simple dishes, for example, piece of lamb with some herbs, a bit of lemon, and threw in a big clay pot and put underneath the fire to cook slowly.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's it. Like they use the fire to warm the place. Maybe they have a pot of soup in the top and they have the meat underneath and that's slowly cooked. And then they will put the tagine, the one we cook the mlewi, on it, and then they will make the bread. And most Tunisian bread will be yeast-free bread. But we have few bread with yeast, but usually prefer using natural yeast.
That sounds delicious, and I can just imagine over many hours all the flavors, and it's almost like a lovely barbecue-y kind of rich flavor to it.
Yeah, it's a culture itself. Cooking is a culture itself. It's a marriage. Every day is a party. Where we go cook, where we go have. It's amazing. I know. I'm very proud.
From chatting with you, it seems like cooking isn't just cooking and passion about food. It's also about having fun. Pleasure side of it as well.
Yeah. Cooking is very important in every family in Tunisia.
Yeah.
Everything we celebrate by cooking. Okay, so you pass your exam, you have to cook today. You meet someone, okay, excuse to cook something special. Like wedding, we have to cook. Oh, wedding will be 4 or 5 different types of food, as you know. Even someone passed away, we have to cook.
Yeah.
So everything we celebrate life by cooking as well. Yeah. So any excuse, to be honest, to party, to make food, it's related by cooking.
Sabeh starts making malewi or layered bread, and to get it right, it's all about the kneading and stretching technique.
This is Berber Tunisian bread. It's basically just a semolina and water, a bit of salt, that's it, but a lots of knitting. And then it's more about the technique of the bread, because kind of you let the dough relax and you stretch it as much as you can. And then you keep using a bit of butter and olive oil or some ghee or whatever you have, but usually I prefer olive oil and a bit of ghee and butter. Give it nice flavors and nice authentic smell. You keep adding this one because the bread is quite moist and quite buttery. And then you add that, sorry. That's why we call it layered bread. So you prepare 1, 2, 3, kind of, you always have 2 ahead. And then I'll go prepare another one, and then start to make 3 together, and that size will be us. So I think we have it with tea, with coffee, with buttermilk. In the morning, buttermilk, boil eggs, fry eggs, with, for example, shakshuka. Shakshuka is very Tunisian dish. Is a Berber word, mean the word of shakshuk. mean mixing, mean a sign of mixing. And then now it's spread in so many countries. People love it all over the world, but it's great. But usually we have so many types of shakshuka. There is vegan shakshuka, vegetable shakshukas, and we use shakshuka, for example, with merguez, which are lamb sausages, and shakshuka with qadid. Qadid is like sun-dried meat, beef meat or lamb meat in the sun. So they'll preserve it. This is the Berber thing for the winter. But they make nice shakshuka because it's kind of have very authentic spices on it. So as you see here, you see the bread has relaxed for me, and inside there is layer. Right, so now we'll take it and we put in this very old trusted tagine.
Whenever we think of tagines, we think of the ones with the lids, but that's also so called a tagine.
We have so many tagines, yeah. Tagine basically is anything you can cook food on it. but there's different types of tagine. Yeah. So that's the bread tagine. We have two types of bread tagine. There is this bread tagine will give us, you will see whenever I turn this in a minute, you will see there is circles around. So will give us, you will know what I mean. So for example, you see and that's give us the authentic look of Malawi. Yeah, and we have another tagine with the clay tagine, and we make like flat bread on it, and there's no turnaround on it. There's no like circles on it.
So it's different for every type of bread. You have different types of tagine that match them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this Malawi, you need to have this. It's like this is authentic. Do you know what I mean? Just if you look, you know that's Malawi.
And it looks like it might be something that's handed down over generations. Is it something that's passed on to the family?
Thousands of years. Yeah. I mean, in Tunisia, I don't know if you know about the Carthage Empire. In Tunisia, it's the empire before the Roman Empire, and then the Roman has went. Anyways, long story. And we have mosaics in the wall until now. People making the bread the same thing. This is 4,000 years before Christ.
Wow.
Okay. So now I'm going to the next one. And that's go again. It only took 2 minutes, and that's now ready for have our bread. And then when that's cooking, then that's another one. I only make 3 now, and then I'll finish that later on.
Would you make this fresh every morning then?
Every morning, every morning. And my customer appreciate, they know it's fresh bread, fresh bread. And they really appreciate it. I spend so much time. Yeah. I come here in the morning and I do so many dishes and I really enjoy it, Sometimes I do extra dishes called chef special. It's up to me. I have my menu. I finish all my menu. I do chef special, so I do something else.
How do you know what you're going to make?
Sometimes at night I finish all my work and I sit down and I'm just, I do that tomorrow, Like today I'm making meatballs with mint and saffron sauce. This is my special, which I go make later on in that pot.
Do you dream about it?
Sometimes, yeah. Most of it come from, we have hundreds and hundreds of dishes. I cannot put a menu that reserve our dishes, This why actually I introduced the chef special, because many people come back for their own maybe favorite dishes.
Yeah.
And not want to change them because people just love it, like the cous-cous. We have the, different things. You see how layered it is if you look at it? Yeah, and puff
it's very textured.
Yeah,
it's got lots of flakes almost. Yeah. You can tear it very easily.
You can tell me later on what you think,
It's almost like you've cooked it inside a big clay pot. The texture, like a barbecue you can smell.
Yeah. See, this is traditionally which not allow here to, on an open fire, as you know, And we can have this with breakfast, or we can have it as a wrap as well. So many recipe in a wrap, actually, the harissa, so we can put harissa, chicken, salami, tuna, so many meat, shawarmas, and we have it for lunch. Yeah. Usually, for example, my mother, she make this in the morning, and then whatever leftover, we'd have it for lunch, We have other as well, like we call it ghraif. It's like pancake barber. Pancake barber basically is look like a pancake but different. But next time I'll do it for you.
I'll be back again.
No worries. You're welcome. Because it's done fresh and there's no chemical involved, no preserve involved, you can keep them next day. It wouldn't taste the same.
I think what you're doing is very unique. I don't think there's anywhere else doing this type of fresh Tunisian breakfast here at all.
Yeah. No. I not see unless but I love to see more. I don't want to be only one, I'm open. I love to see a lot of authentic North African, especially Tunisian, because such a rich cuisine. Yeah. I know people know, not much people know about, I think maybe so little Tunisians in North Ireland. Yeah. More know maybe in France and Italy, because we're, exactly. But UK and Northern Ireland, and Ireland should enjoy Tunisian cuisine because it's just amazing. And that combination between the spices, the herbs, and healthy. We use olive oil. Do you know what I mean? It's that healthy Mediterranean side of it. Plus,
it's got a bit of spice, a bit of kick to it.
Exactly. It's like something in the middle. You want something tasty but healthy.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are familiar with elements of it, like shakshuka. People have heard of merguez sausages, and even the flatbread and the different types of cooking you're doing.
Cous-cous. Yeah. In Tunisia we have about. I'm not but we have about 100 types of couscous. Yeah. Where I come from, the very north of Tunisia, it's called Bizerte. It's very fish town, So most our couscous will be done with fish and octopus. But we have the lamb couscous, which that's like the icon of all Tunisia anyway. Yeah. Sometimes every family has their own type of couscous. Okay. It is forever a possibility. Like we have vegan veg maybe about, I don't know, I can't count it, like I need to travel all over actually the times, in
And
Tunisia.
that's how the couscous is cooked. It's cooked with the fish and with the chicken.
So
and different people do it differently.
many chicken and vegetable, chicken only, about 10 types of vegetables. You can have the lentils, and you have the broad beans, and there's other one done with the fennel, with the fennel herb, or with the spinach, onion, tomatoes. Let's talk about the vegetarian. The fish, every type of fish has a type of couscous, and different spices go with it, and the chicken. And the lamb, we have the spicy lamb, couscous done with harissa and like olive oil and more maybe iconic dish. But we have the saffron lamb couscous, and we have the borzgan, we call it, which very, very old couscous. And this is the same story of that tagine, very old. It's like mix of salt and sweet, really. And it's quite white couscous, but the sauce is like goat milk with a lot of dates and nuts.
Texture of like risotto, that kind of creamy, kind of rich texture.
It's creamy couscous, with the fold apart lamb pieces or goat pieces with the dates. I go make maybe the lamb couscous because Tunisia, North Africa knows about the lamb, so I do the lamb as the dish of the menu, and then the other ones special.
So many things you can do with it. Very versatile.
Especially it's like in my open free thing, so I can pick anything, you know.
Because you're the chef and you're the owner, so you can do so many things with your menu. I was going to say, it's a bit like the potatoes here. The people use potatoes in so many ways. So couscous is like that.
Exactly. It's like rice as well in India.
In rice in India.
Absolutely. By the way, we do have few rices as well. And we do have a potato. Concentrate on the couscous, don't make it very complicated. I don't want to interfere with the Indian or the Irish.
Not only couscous, but it's the main thing. It's the kind of the signature thing is couscous. Typical then in Tunisia that both men and women would be in the kitchen cooking together. It's very much family-based thing.
Absolutely. Big time, as I say, women in Tunisia is very respectable, and they have a very important roles in the family and the society in general. And in Tunisia in general, like we have women, from the kitchen, they're the boss of the kitchen to the boss of the government, and men, Tunisian men support that. They've always been supportive. The women, what they are now is thanks to the Tunisian men. If that makes sense. They're the ones supporting them from the start. Yeah.
It's very progressive.
Very progressive,
very
and very traditions has been there can change because something in the DNA has been there thousands of years and always has been there. Tunisian in general is have a very sense of humor. We love to laugh and we love life. We love a good food. We love good music. We love people, and
we can tell from chatting with you as well.
This is just not me. That's everyone.
That's the culture.
It is. Yeah.
And you must be so proud of what you've achieved here as well.
Yes, I'm very happy. I have confidence in our cuisine. I believe in our cuisine, and also I believe in myself that I'll be able to deliver this.
How did you get the word out there? Did people just see the sign and come in, or did you have to go and talk to a lot of people?
I post to the Facebook, okay. And I chat with my customers. So wherever they come, as I say, we're open the plan kitchen. So many of them, they enjoy the food, and even the food, the smell, and I say lovely. And they come up and say, oh, what is it? And I always put in the menu, if you need any questions, or if you have any question about ingredients or anything, you can talk to me. And it's just amazing. They're just amazing. I have customers, they've been come to me now since we open, from different ages. And we have some elderly men come to me and women, and such a lovely North Irish people, very open, very nice. And they say to me, since they come up here to eat, they feel better health-wise. They tell me they sleep better, they eat, they feel better overall because the healthy way of cooking. I'm 45 coming up. I never been a doctor. I never went to the GP. Just for somebody being called. But my family like that. We healthy. We never have anything.
It's just baked into your tradition
exactly.
that you eat healthy food and you have it every day.
You don't need healthy food. Maybe it costs you a little bit more time. Sometimes certain ingredients may be a bit more dear than cheaper. But in the long run, it costs you your health.
We were very lucky to sample some lovely dishes. So we had a lovely kind of traditional bread with figs and dates that you made earlier, with coffee, with Arabic coffee and mint tea. And it was lovely, and it didn't feel unhealthy, even though it was rich and tasty.
Exactly, because it's natural. Figs is a natural thing, and a figs with olive oil is a medicine itself. And dates with olive oil, it's superpower itself.
Yeah.
Plus you have the bread, which no yeast bread.
Yeah.
So will not be bloated.
Yeah.
Flat. Okay, so everything, if you look at it. And then the tea, green tea, you all know the green tea. And then the mint tea, fresh mint is very good for digestive, for freshness, for everything. And then coffee, again, I know it's coffee, but not processed coffee. Yeah. It's a real coffee and mixed with cardamom. So cardamom as well, as you know, is good for you. Yeah. So even our coffee has that little bit hint of something that if you
so everything is magical,
yeah.
Since we met Sabeh at Carthago, she has demonstrated Tunisian food live with Pamela Ballantyne at Art Secta's Belfast Mela, and she continues to run food-based events locally and in Tunisia. Her restaurant continues to have a dedicated following, so if you're going to be in the vicinity of Moira, you know where to go. We hope you've enjoyed listening to Dishing About Food, a collaboration between WhyFI Productions and the Curated pod. This episode is one of a 4-part mini-series, so do make sure you listen to the others if you haven't already. Thanks for listening.